Hey everybody, Lawrence here at Dirty Basement Terrain coming at you with another quick tip. Now we've all have washes from various manufacturers, Citadel, Vallejo, Army Painter, whoever. Now they are great washes. Problem is they're pricey. Do we use them? Yes. But the thing is, they're tiny little bottles for a good chunk of change. Now the thing is, when you're making terrain, do you really want to use this tiny little bottle? Because then it's going to drive the price of your terrain through the roof. What I want to show you is a homemade wash, or my recipe for making my own wash, which for my terrain. This is what I use on my terrain. I do not use this for terrain. I save those for miniatures and other small pieces. So I want to walk you through the recipe for this. It's relatively simple and easy to make. And the thing is, you can custom make your own colors no matter what situation. Okay, hope you enjoy.
This is a pretty simple, easy mix. This is my dark brown wash. I needed something lighter, so that's what I'm going to be mixing up. I'm grabbing some Liquitex matte medium, some plain water, and of course a bottle to put it all in, some inks, and some jet dry finish for your dishwasher. That's the stuff that keeps all the spots from forming on your glasses and whatnot. I'm going to fill the bottle up approximately halfway and just put the top on to show you. Now I want to grab my Liquitex, shake it up a little, and then fill it up halfway. I want about a 50-50 mix of medium and water. Of course, give it a thorough shake. I shake in with each step, and I don't wait until everything's in the bottle. Of course, now I want to add some of the jet dry, just a couple drops. There 5, maybe 10 for this bottle, whatever you want to put in, not a lot. Of course, thorough mix again. Of course, now I'm going to be adding burnt sienna Liquitex acrylic ink. You should use the acrylic ink, being that this is an acrylic wash. One important thing to note is when you're adding inks to a wash, you should count how many drops. Don't just squirt it in because you may put too much in. But also, by keeping track of how many drops you put in, you'll be able to easily reproduce the same color wash should you ever need to make it again. I wind up putting around 60 drops of the burnt sienna in this wash eventually. I wasn't entirely happy with how light it was turning out, so I grabbed some burnt umber, which is a much darker brown, to add to darken it down a bit. Of course, I still wasn't happy with how light it was, so I added 10 more drops of the burnt umber, giving me a total of 20 drops. This is a personal preference. Add whatever colors or how many drops of whatever, but keep track of what you put in. That way you can reproduce it later if needed. And after mixing up the final bit of burnt umber ink in there, I wanted to compare the wash to how it looked next to my dark brown wash. And I was relatively happy with how it looked next, so I finished up and I was done. And of course, now that I was all done, I wanted to be able to reproduce this easily. I had kept track of what I put into it, and so I wrote it down on a little piece of paper and labeled the bottle so I could easily redo it later.